Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Three, two.
Welcome back, race fans. From Summit Point Jefferson, we now go to Sebring Club. It is once again the TGR Nation Grand V Series, and we are thick into the second half of the season. We have got an interesting race to come our way, back onto a proper racing circuit, some may say. I'm Alexa Marshall, joined by Jim Cunningham, who is going to be bringing you all the action in the background from the camera shots you see, and this week will be my Jim, welcome in. You were here last week, but now we go to Sebring. It's definitely going to be an interesting race to look forward to.
Yeah, this is, of course, the club layout at Sebring, which is a shorter version than what we would see in the, like the 12 Hours of Sebring and the prototype and sports cars. Sebring's a great track, of course. It's an American icon. It's one of the big tracks in the United States, and it's really rough. It's going to be interesting to see how these light little bouncy cars handle this rough circuit.
Yeah, well, we've seen throughout the season so far what these cars really can bring, and it's starting to spice up a little bit. And right now, it is going to be Zach Crotcheray-White who sits up top here in free practice with about 2 minutes left on the clock, 1:16.659 to go. However, as Christian Flagg also gets an improvement there. But we know this, especially with these cars, practice is never really a true outlier. Yes, it can give a bit of insight, but realistically, it's the qualifying that we're going to be looking into, because that's when we're really going to see the pace that is coming their way. However, one thing I will say, Zach Crotcheray-White, Gianni Lutzu, and Mark Schweening, they are definitely back on pace coming into this round.
Yeah, well, this is... The beautiful thing about these cars is they're so momentum based, and it's one of those things that when you get that breakthrough and you really realize how to drive this car, they're incredibly fun. And but it takes a certain skill set to drive these things, because you can't be on and off the throttle and you can't be wiggling the steering wheel around. You got to keep these things pressed to the floor and steering wheel pointed as straight as possible to get them fast.
Yeah, and we know what these cars can be like when they go for a spin. But of course, honestly, you know a lot more about this circuit than I do, as Gianni Lutzu goes to the top, Jim. So I'll let you take us through this one, because of course, Sebring Club, it's an amazing circuit at the end of the day.
Well, yeah, to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not extremely familiar with the club circuit. I've driven the big course many times. In fact, it was my first it was the first place I ever attended a sports car race. I went to this is going to make me feel really old. I went to the 12 Hours of Sebring around 1989 or 1990, something like that. So it was my first sports car race, and it was here. The club circuit itself, though, is just a shorter version. And one thing, if you're used to driving this course on the regular layout, though, if you need to pit, which these cars shouldn't unless they've got damage, the pit lane is located kind of on that back straight before you get to Cunningham Corner. So it's a completely different entry spot into the pit. Well, it's a completely different pit road. So that could throw the guys a curve, but if they're in that spot already, they're already in trouble. So, and by the way, we just started qualifying here. We'll get some laps going here shortly.
Rob Russell making his way around the circuit at the current moment in time, looking to get as much pace on as he can. It's 22-degree track with an 18-degree ambient temperature, partly cloudy, so not too overcast, but you got a bit of sun shining through as well. Drivers on the grid tonight are Sean Gopinski, Kirk Stanley, Michael Thiessen, Blake Babson, Mark Schweening, Martin Visser, Nathan Maroney, Neil Hanley, Rob Wright, Brian Hansen, Zach Rattray-White, Christian Flagg, Ken Poulin, Alex Buber, Bradley Zenkar, Gianni Lutsu, and Sully Khan. And I will say this straight away, you've actually got a mic active this week, and I know that there's especially one driver out there that you're looking forward to watching.
I am. I can't wait to call him Boo Bear. I'm so excited about that. I was cracking up in doing the production last week at that name. Now I get to actually call him Boo Bear. This is going to be great.
Well, you get a chance now as it is going to get underway around here. 3, 2, 1. We are underway for the first lap here for Rob Wright, making his way around the circuit as quickly as he possibly can. It's going to be interesting to see whether it will come up in qualifying. As that is a big spin, big slide, I should say. Caught it out the spin, but that is straight into the grass and straight back to the pit lane. So that's unfortunate for him. Sean Gopinski going round at the moment, as well as Zenkar. However, the man who is currently furthest around the track is going to be Blake Babson in the number 21. Lots of American drivers around this American circuit as they make it round, but about two out of 10 parts into this lap, I should say. Words got jumbled there for a sec. As he goes 3 tenths, he is going to be there. It's Zenkar making his way around this circuit.
Yeah, Zenkar, and Schweening is on a heck of a lap there. He's got a green and then a purple sector. So he's off to a good start there. We've got a couple of purple sectors out there right now. Of course,
yeah, Martin Visser goes fastest.
Zach, here comes, there's Sweeney. I knew he was going to have a fast one. And I think Rattay, Zach White is going to have a pole lap here from the looks of it. He's got 2 purple sectors going into the third.
Yeah, well, the third one is where it counts. Sean Gopinski up at a P number 3, goes to the line for Zach Rattray-White, and I believe that was invalidated. No, it just took a while to update on my board. It's a 1:17.089, and that is very, very close. Took quite a moment to update on my board for a second, but it's Zenkar now up into P number 5, of course. You heard Jim talk about it. If you don't know what the things are on the bottom, it is the little bars under the lap times. Of course, if it's yellow, it's no improvement. Green is a personal fastest sector, and then purple is session fastest. It's 600ths of a second at the moment, which is Christian Flagg P2 to Zach Rattray-White in P number 1. Nathan Maroney in P number 3. Of course, you're allowed 3 flying laps around here in qualifying, and you're on your own out there. You got no other drivers with you, so it's nice and green, nice and clean as we approach the halfway mark in this qualifying session.
Yeah, I'm trying to see who's going to improve here. It looks like Martin Visser might put up a decent lap that may jump him up a little bit. We'll see. Looks like Sully Khan is on a pretty decent run as well.
Well, it's all going to come down to it at the end of the day. Martin Visser out there, Sully Khan. People yet to get lap time. Stanley, Babson, Wright, Boo Bear, and Lutsu, as well as Sully Khan. So we got a few drivers yet to get lap times. Sully Khan, though, goes and sets the lap. P number 5. P number 5 seeming to be a favourite so far this evening.
Yeah, they keep jumping up into 5. I think that's partially because, as within any league or series, there's a few guys that are just really fast. And I think you're seeing the majority of those really fast guys jump right up to the top, and then everybody kind of slots in behind them. From what I've seen last week, this is only my second week doing this series, but it was a lot of fun. And there's definitely a few guys in here that are really fast.
Indeed it is, as Rob Wright, while we were talking, has gone up into P number 2. That brings it down to 0.04 of a second. Very close up to the drivers at top. Zach Rattray White, reigning champion, is having a show of forces. It does currently stand. Martin Visser up into P number 6, and I believe that will be his third and final lap, if I am correct. I may be corrected though, as right now 4 drivers yet to get a lap time in, 13 drivers on the board. It's nice and tidy for the time being, as all these drivers are having a pretty good time, possibly, which I'm thinking here, because Stanley is yet to get a lap time, same with Boo Bear Bradley. I think they're opting to go right towards the end, so within the final 3 minutes around this club circuit here at Sebring.
Yeah, it certainly looks that way, and they've got time. I mean, it's still almost 4 minutes left in this qualifying session, so that way they get out there and the track is got all the rubber down, and it's as mature as it's going to get. Oh, Zach White is on another blistering run. He's fixing to jump this up even better. Ooh,
yeah, as Nathan Maroney,
a full second better. Holy cow.
Jeez, Rattray.
Wow.
Talk about fast. No wonder he's the reigning champion.
He just improved his own lap time by a second. Wow. You very rarely see that.
Also getting up there, P number 2 now. Yeah, it's going to be Christian Flagg. He's got support, so Flagg's got support, and he's now going out there on the circuit. He's putting an absolute monster drive in. It's of course a land down under Rattray White in P number 1 with the American of Christian Flagg P2 and Rob Wright down in P number 3. Nathan Maroney there in P number 4, followed by Mark Schreening in P number 5. Who we are following around on the circuit at the current moment in time. Gianni Lutsu has done some laps, however, yet to get one valid on the timing board. The number 58 currently making his way around the circuit at this moment. Is he going to be validated or not, though? We're going to have to wait and see. 1 minute 16.539 is the lap time to beat around here. Of course, all on the dry sets of tyres. However, you got no DRS, so it's all going to come down to slipstream tonight with just over 2 minutes left on the clock. There's Gianni Lutsu, who he goes to P number 2 with a 1 minute 16 9.75 as he goes straight into the barrier there, possibly getting a bit excited over that. However, that's 2 drivers in the 1 minute 16s now. The question I've got, are we going to see anybody else come in across those times? Looking at it at the current moment, it is a spread of 2.5 seconds. That being, of course, Neil Hanley last in the moment with Zach Rattray White P number 1. Stanley and Boo Bear Bradley yet to get lap times in on the time, with Ken Poulin out there at the moment, as well as Mark Schreening. Ken Poulin is currently going 1 minute 18.162 as his last lap time. He's definitely looking for a good improvement around here.
Yeah, so far he hadn't improved in Sector 1, so we'll have to see. It looks like Stanley and Boo Bear are just not going to put a lap in today. They're going to choosing to start from the back of the pack. Maybe they feel like there's going to be some turn 1 chaos, or some chaos in one of those, running through that little opening section there. So maybe they've chosen to stay out of trouble.
Or possibly a penalty, such as a pit lane start or a qualifying ban that we have missed.
Yeah, that's possible. I definitely missed it if it's out there.
Yeah, no, I definitely missed it as well. But one thing we are not missing is this man, Ken Poulin, seemingly going to be the last driver. In fact, he will be the last driver to get a lap time on the board, as he's now going to head to the line. Ken Poulin, the American, P number 9 currently, goes to the timing board, and he will stay P number 9 on my board.
Yeah, he didn't improve in any sector there at all. It's funny. you were talking about the weather temperatures earlier. The track is not terribly hot for Florida, and if this is realistic time of the year, this, in Florida right now, the ambient temperature in the middle of the day is, mid 90s right now still. So this is, relatively cool for Sebring.
Oh, maybe relatively cool on the board, but that qualifying is going to come to an end. It's checkered, and the race is about to get underway. I gave it to Ashley last week, so I'll give it to you this week, Jim. Let's go. Let's go through the grid order.
You do the grid. I'm going to just push the buttons here. I'm just along for the ride.
So, going through the grid order, it is Zach Rattray White who will line up on pole position here. Very good lap time for him in the 1:16. To send Gianni Lutsu, only other driver there, in P number 2. Christian Flagg then lines up in P number 3 with Rob Wright in P number 4. Nathan Maroney sits in P number 5 with Mark Schweening in P number 6. Martin Visser lines up in P number 7 with Sully Khan in P number 8. Ken Poulin in P number 9 with Sean Gapinski in to round out the top 10. Zencar P number 11 with Brian Hansen to round up P number 12 and that first page. Going on to the second page with the last of the drivers, it is Blake Babson, who is P number 13, Michael Thiessen, P number 14, Neil Hanley in P number 15, P number 16 is Kirk Stanley, and then Alex Boo Bear Bradley is going to be there, waiting for Gianni Lutsu and Stanley to get on the grid, and then we will get ready to rumble. Once again, like last week, there is no gantry, so it will be in the ear from the engineer as you get ready to go again. 22 still on track, 18 ambient, partly cloudy as we get ready to rumble around here. We've got a 30-minute race coming your way right here on Apex Race TV. It is going to be the good old TGR Nation Grand V Series, and we are ready and raring to go. Waiting for those last drivers to hop on the grid, and then we can get into the racing action. A bit of a wait. Get your predictions in the chat. Let us know who you're supporting. And then, of course, we may have some time at the end to do some interviews with some of these drivers, as we are now just waiting for Gianni Lutsu. But once again, Zach Rattray Wright is there. Somebody is revving the engines at the back.
They're going.
As he is going to go to the back of the grid. Green flag drops. We are racing. Very, very bad start there for Zach Rattray Wright. Same for Rob Wright. Christian Flagg has got away. Scott free. And he's now going to go around the outside. Lovely, jubbly start as a pound. Few moves in the back. Michael Thiessen, Brian Hansen also getting some moves done. What on earth happened on the start for Zach Rattray White? We're going to have to find out later, because these drivers are blistering around this club circuit here at Sebring already. And it's now going to be up and done through these corners, trying to hold on to these positions nice and clean through sector number 1. Unlike what we saw at a circuit which could be a lot smaller 2 weeks ago. But now holding on to these positions, it is going to be Christian Flagg who leads, followed by Nathan Maroney. Then Robert Wright. It is absolutely blistering after that first half of a lap.
Yeah, the Rattray White got a horrible start there. That was, I don't think he spun his tires or anything. I think he just got caught sleeping. They were waiting on the second place qualifier to get on grid, and I think when he jumped in, it fired off, and they weren't ready for that. But I think he's got time. He'll make it up. He's already back out front, so...
Yeah, like you were saying, he got a bit jumped on the start, but now he's jumped back up in a P number 1 through turn number 1 as they hold on to those positions. You can see all the other drivers coming through in the background looking for a move. There is Rob Wright trying to make his way through. Currently P number 4 down into P number 5 as the cameras on iRacing have a bit of a moment, but we are back and we are here. We go wheel to wheel, side by side, nice and tidy. Rob Wright, of course, looking for a bit of redemption after last week. Came up a little bit unlucky as we head around this circuit. Of course, it's the smaller circuit, so not as many cameras to choose from, but we're still going to do it nonetheless. Michael Thiessen in P number 12, still trying to make his way through. The American driver around a purely American circuit, as Alex Boo Bear Bradley, Jim, has just made a position to get past Neil Hanley.
He's moving up. Started last. He's up 4 spots or so right now already. One that Gianni, who didn't even take the start, was the second place qualifier, and he didn't, for some reason, did not make the grid.
Possibly Ooh, possibly an issue to do with it all, but we are looking at this as, once again,
Blake
what's
Babson.
happening on your engine?
Well, this is Blake Babson
Oh.
here. Let me get the speed up, and looks like Babson had a moment here.
Yeah, so what happens here? Oh, just a whole lot of overspeed, goes in, locks the rear.
I think he was pushing in there pretty good, and the car in front of him kind of slowed, and I think he was in the middle of turning and hit his brakes, and it just sent him flying around, especially if you got that brake bias set forward. I mean, rearward like that, it'll kick you around like that. So, yeah, these cameras are terrible here because this is the club circuit, and they don't have as many good camera angles, and so they take these really long shots.
Well, it's something that we have to deal with as we do go around the circuit. Biggest gainers so far, Alex Bradley with 4 positions gained, Michael Thiessen and Sean Gopinski with 3 positions gained. People yet to move are Ken Pullen, Sully Khan and Zach Rattray White. Everybody else has gained or lost some. As we head round here, it is Christian Flagg who is the fastest man out on the circuit. 1:17, 1:53 is to beat, and he is absolutely flying at the moment. A whole 10th quicker, Neil, half a 10th quicker last time round than Zach Rattray White. So it looks like they're going to be fighting soon. As we see Martin Visser here, wheel to wheel, side by side, trying to fight their way through the S's as they go through. Sean Gopinski right there, though, as we see a little bit of flashing in and out from a car ahead. Who is that going to be? Is it going to be Sean Gopinski? It may be. A Sully Khan and Martin Visser are having an absolutely amazing battle right now, flip-flopping between 7th and 8th, going back 4th between them. In the background you can see Ken Pullen, who's still trying to make up these positions as we head through turn number 1 again, through these corners, through this track. Absolutely amazing around here, especially with how bumpy the Sebring can be.
Yeah, we've got a nice battle going on back here. There's 4 or 5 cars here battling pretty hard. I'm trying to keep an eye on that lead battle too. Nothing's happening yet, but they're staying pretty close to each other, so I'm going to keep an eye on it. But we'll stick with this battle. This is pretty exciting back here with these guys dicing in and out of each other. You might expect somebody's going to make a mistake running that close together.
Well, Sully Khan moved down the inside to get past Martin Visser, but now Martin Visser is going to get it back. They continue fighting through each corner, and it's absolutely amazing racing action at its finest here in the TGR Nation Grand V Series. But now wheel to wheel, side by side, possibly 3 wide. We saw what happened a few races ago. When that happens, you do not want to go 3 wide at least, especially in these Formula Vs, but they are putting on a very clean fight at the moment in time. Gianni Lutzu, of course, not taken to the race, so unfortunate for him in this race tonight. Good qualifying, but it did not come over to that. Zenkar making his position up and getting past Michael Thiessen. Zach Rattray White now fastest around the circuit. This is an interesting race as we got Rob Wright getting past Mark Schweening up ahead, and this battle in the background, you saw Michael Thiessen there get past Zenkar. Now through this right-hander again. Oh, so many times. You go around this circuit so quickly, you don't realise what corner you're at until you're at turn number 1 again. But right now, once again, looking for the inside line is going to be that man, Rob Wright, but he's going to get it nice and tidy. He keeps it clean, keeping Mark Schweening behind, and the reigning champion proving why he is there. Kent Pullen is dropping down the grid order, lost 4 positions there, falling even further back, and it looks like that he's in the pit lane. What on earth has happened to Kent Pullen? We're going to have to get a replay there, because something has happened to the man. He dropped like a stone there, possibly dropping down 7 positions. As we get the replay, what happens here? Going down the back straight, it seems. Now going to go wheel to wheel, side by side, into the braking zone, onto the curb a little bit. Is a mistake, onto the grass, spews across, straight into the barrier, and you saw the wheel. That is 100% suspension damage, as you saw the wheel do a little bit of a bounce, and even in the pit lane, you can see it pointing towards the left. It's supposed to point forward, as right now that is a very slow Rob Wright. So what on earth has happened to him as well? This is what happens. You look at one incident, and then all of a sudden something else happens while you're looking at it.
That's exactly what happened. I think he may have got it. Well, I'm in replay.
Was it contact?
No, I think he might have got it off track. Oh no, it was contact.
Oh, big bounce.
Yeah, he went for a little ride there. Yeah, both of them.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems so. That was Michael Schweening.
Yes.
Mark Schweening, who ended up losing the rear end going through there, and then he went into the back of it, hit the rear left suspension, and that sent him airborne and into the barrier. So, that corner is claiming a lot of people tonight. It seems already two, as it looks like we've got another one here. But let's go. I'll let you take this one, Jim.
What do we? Oh, we had. I was looking to see if we had another incident. No, we're good. Yeah, back to the battle for the lead. Flag is still all over the back of White. I've been keeping an eye. Seems like okay, that was interesting.
As iRacing has a moment.
Yeah, it did have a moment.
We're back racing. Let's go.
Yeah, we're good here.
We're back racing, so seemingly iRacing just having a moment. Ken pulling now a lap down, unfortunately, but that is what happens when you get caught up in an incident like that. Going to be watching Rob Wright at the current moment, trying to fight his way back through the field after the moment that he had. Brian Hansen getting past Michael Feason. A little bit further up, you can see those two battling for the current moment in time. Also going to be wheel to wheel, side by side. Going to be going into this right hander now, as it looks like it's going to be an up and under there for Brian Hansen, trying to get moved. But it looks like Martin Visser is going to drop down the order. Something's happened to him, dropping like a stone, and this is all over the place. We are approaching the 10-minute mark, the 1/3, and it seems like everything's starting to kick off a little bit as Rob Wright and Alex Boubert Bradley go wheel to wheel.
Yeah, I will wait and see what happens right here. Flag's on the side of White. I want to see if he's in the wrong spot to make a move there, but we might try an undercut here and come back under him.
Yeah, up and under, forever known in the racing sphere. It can be, if it's done right, it is absolutely perfect. But just seems like he is unable to get. It just seems like that purpley pink car, more like magenta, is just unable to get past that red and white car, which sits ahead of him. Slipstream is the crucial point, but it also becomes even more tricky when you head through the corners. The leaders battling. Christian Flag fastest so far on the lap. However, it was about the same on the last lap time. So now, looking throughout the rest of the grid, these drivers are going to be going their way. As we approach the 10-minute mark, it looks like this. Zach Rattray White leads, followed by Christian, followed by Flag, Maroney, Kapinski, Khan, Thiessen, Hansen, Bradley, Wright, Carr, Stanley, Schweening, Hanley, Visser, Babson. Pulling is a lap down, and Lotsu did not take to the grid. As we ride on board here with Christian Flag, continuously trying to get past that car in front. And it is the current smallest gap. However, that could also be said for the same between Mark Schweening and Stanley. Stanley, the biggest gainer so far is Michael Feason with 8 positions gained. Biggest loss on track is 7 positions by Martin Visser for the moment that he had just a moment ago. Number 17 leads all the way over to and 49.
Yeah, this battle's shaping up to be a decent little fight up here at the front. Boo Bear's on his way up. He's up 9 spots now. He is up to 8th place already. Imagine if he'd have qualified. But
well, at the end of the day, it may be a blessing in disguise. Back to the leaders, Jim.
Right? Oh, it might be. Yeah, just I think Flag is testing the waters here a little bit. Just trying to stick his nose in there and see what White's going to do. Maybe try to force White into a little mistake or something. Probably pretty unlikely based on what I've seen from White's driving style over the last 2 weeks. But he's Flag sticking right with him though. So he's certainly gonna got an opportunity here. We're just 11 minutes into this race, so we still got almost 20 minutes left. So plenty of time.
Plenty of time to get past indeed, as it does continue around here. You got a few moments which did happen. You got Brian Hansen getting past Michael Feason further back, as well as Stanley getting past Schweening, or was it Carr getting past Schweening? We'll have to wait and see. 8 positions up is Alex Boubert Bradley, and he is the biggest gainer so far in this race. There's a big wheel there on the rear end of Zach Rattray White. Good catch, but is that going to give an opportunity for Christian Flag? Hops in the toe, going to go right under the diffuser, and now it looks like a bit too far back. Diffuser, there's no diffuser, it's just the gearbox there, Lex. As you head down the back straight, down the main straight, as you've got so much space here. It's absolutely amazing the racing that we're seeing here. as these guys are just fighting left, right, and centre. As even though I've done the entirety of this season, I still keep on thinking that these are similar to Formula One cars. They are very different to Formula One cars.
Very different. Yeah, these cars are all about momentum. They don't have a lot of horsepower. You just got to keep them wound up. If you go on and look at the dashboard settings for this for these cars, they never get out of third and fourth gear. That's the only two gears they really run in, except for start of the race. You just got to keep them wound up. This group back here still fighting. These four cars have been going at it literally all. What happened to Boo Bear? Boo Bear was in this group and he's not anymore.
Yeah, he's dropped down 2 positions, it seems, so something happened to him, possibly going deep on the exit, as he's dropped down 2 positions, so he's level with Stanley and all that. Zenkar getting past Michael Feason, big lock up, that's why.
Yeah, well, he was lucky to save that. And then Brian Hansen just had a moment, too.
Others may not be so lucky, and here we go. This is going to be Brian Hansen looking for the inside. Is it going to be a contact, or is it going to be a different move? Looks for the inside line, we'll keep it there. Is it contact? Yes, it will be, and that is what happens. Thankfully not spinning round, but that's going to cost him at those positions. This is what happened. This is one of the things when you're in such a tight pack like this. You got to play it safe, because otherwise that's going to happen, and you're going to end up losing those positions.
How did Rob Wright avoid anything happening to him? They went wheel to wheel and his car just like rolled right through it. I was not expecting that, if I'm being honest.
Simple answer: netcode.
Yeah, right, exactly. It was netcode. Yeah.
So 4 laps down at the current moment is Gianni Lutsu, is the gap. As I just realised, is it me or is Gianni Lutsu out on circuit? Because my board's saying that he's got a time on a sector.
To me, I never thought he took a lap on the race. He didn't.
He is out there. Apparently,
he sure is. He sure is.
He is out there.
We got a big incident right there.
That is Schweening and Boo Bear Bradley. We will get an aerial shot of that in just a second, because we were looking at Lutsu for a moment. But now, what on earth happened between those two? Turn number 1 seemingly coming together. Rob right ahead, getting past Zenkar. But Babson and Boo Bear Bradley, what on earth happens here? Because we are going into it, and that is going to be Boo Bear Bradley back to the pits. Luckily enough, it seems like they didn't get stuck together, or maybe did they? Going down in towards the braking zone, car gets ahead into the brakes, heavy on the brakes, down the inside. What on earth? Little tap right into the gearbox, and that is. I got deja vu to when we went to the oval earlier on this season, because 2 cars got stuck together there. But this time round, thankfully they were able to get out of each other's car. But I think that was just a bit too much of a deep dive and not enough awareness.
Yeah, I mean, he just, he drove it in there a little hot and tried to turn it down underneath him and lost the front end. It slid up there. I mean, it's certainly, I guess that was on Sweening. I guess is who the car underneath was. I mean, that's, it certainly wasn't intentional, but he definitely was carrying just a little bit too much speed to turn his car down that low underneath him.
Yeah, and TGR Grand Nation and TGR Grand V is brought to you by Sambo iRacing and Lutsu Driver Performance. So now, as we continue around here, Kirk Stanley is going to be out there, P number 10, Zenkar, P number 7. As they continue around here, it's absolutely amazing. Zenkar now P number 8, actually, as we continue around here. We're 12 laps deep into this race, over the halfway mark. So we're into the second half of this race, and it is looking nice and tidy for Zach Rattray at the moment. Christian Flagg is there. Nathan Maroney, P number 3, with Khan, P number 4, and Gapinski, P number 5. The rest is on your board. We got
a couple of nice little battles going on, like this one here, but between I guess this is this Khan and Gapinski, I think. Is that right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Gapinski just got by him, too.
Yeah, so they're going wheel to wheel, side by side once again, flip-flopping for position. It's going to be Khan who will get ahead in that moment. Goes to the left, goes to the right. Zenkar, Michael Thiessen. Zenkar getting past there for a moment, but Michael Thiessen back ahead into the corner on the inside line. It seems like, especially with a circuit like this, you want the inside line because, realistically, it is a clockwise circuit.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. This club layout, really, it's almost like a giant oval almost, you know. These two were going back and forth, but yeah, it's almost like a giant oval.
It's a fancy oval.
It is a fancy oval.
At the end of the day, it's a fancy oval, more of a rectangle though. As you got, here we go, Martin Visser versus, I believe, Neil Handler. Yes, it is, as he's going to be trying to get past as quickly as possible, but no move done for the moment as the Brit does hold on to the current position, making his way through this grid and holding on to it. Of course, 17 drivers on the grid tonight as Christian Flagg and Zach Rattray-White have switched positions. They're going to go wheel to wheel, side by side again. How is this going to fare up down into turn number 1, up and under as we go towards the back end of the circuit or wherever we are. Wheel to wheel, side by side, going to continue between these two. Oh, it's going to be an absolute flyer for Christian Flagg last lap, and that's what's going to put him up in the pole. He was a whole 10th faster that lap, so he is on an absolute roll at the current moment with 12 minutes left on the clock. As Zach Rattray-White, they're going to go again, try not to come into each other, but now continuing absolutely monumental battling that we're watching here. And I hate to say this, but we've got a back marker who has got a front row seat to this.
Yeah, he does. To be honest, I keep thinking that he's going to cause a problem between these two leaders battling, but I mean, you're a lap down. You maybe should just drop out of the mix just a little bit, you know.
Maybe drop out, give him a bit of space. You do not want to cause an incident. Michael Thiessen getting past Zenkar. They've continued to flip-flop here around this race. You've got so many battles around here, it's hard to keep track of. You've got the battle for the lead, you've got the battle for P number 5, you've got the battle for P number 8, you've got the battle for P number 11. 4 different battles heading around this circuit at the current moment in time. Biggest group of the cars is going to be Michael Thiessen as Christian Flagg gets into the race, into pole in the lead, but now he's going to be going down the inside. How is this going to fare up? Zach Rattray-White, reigning champion, once again on the defensive drive. Sean Gopinski getting past Sully Khan a little bit further back, but these leaders are having a fight once again, wheel to wheel, but not yet. It's going to be right here as we look through the visor on the turn, on the straight. Who's it going to fare? Going to be looking for the outside line, looking for the inside line. Zach Rattray-White is putting that car in absolute pristine position because he is defending that position like he means it. As Sully Khan is dropping down the grid order as well further back in his return to the pit lane. It seems seems like that's going to be a 5th victim claimed by Sebring Club tonight.
Let's see what happened to him here. Oh, I clicked on the wrong one. It was moving. Let's try this one.
So here we go. This is Sully Khan at the moment. Oh! Tap, boom. Goodbye front end of that V.
Yeah, he tore that one up.
The front end, that was a tap. I don't think it was an intentional tap. Well, that was a tap, and he ended up getting sent into the right-hander and straight into the barrier. The front of that car just flew off, and goodbye suspension.
I think that might have been on him. Let's see. Let's go back and look at that again. I think he lost the front end of his car. Maybe not. One more angle real quick. Probably the best angle was that chopper angle, though.
Yeah, God, you could just hear the crunch of the suspension as it goes into the barrier.
Well, God, what if that camera could have got any further away than it did? It's like that was from the hot dog stand.
I'm going to use my prerogative here. I think it was a racing incident. I mean, the first half is a racing incident because going through this, he's holding it on the right as much as possible. Other car comes across, and then, yeah, initial contact, I would say a racing incident, but we'll leave it to the stewards. Second half of the contact, definitely leave to the stewards. because that is going to be right there. Christian Flagg still chasing down that race lead. Closest gap is going to be there. Michael Thiessen defending from Zenkar, Kirk Stanley, and Brian Hansen further back as well. 12 drivers still on the lead lap here, but they are continuing around this circuit. Absolutely amazing tonight. Track temperature has gone up, so I guess we're reaching more California weather for you, Jim, but it's gone up to 25 degrees on track, so it's getting a little bit hot.
It's almost California weather, except for it's like 3,000 miles away. It's the other side of the country, Florida.
I know.
So who is the lap car there? Who is that? Is that Gianni? It is Gianni. Okay. I mean, I get it that he's fast, but man, I don't know. I don't know. I have an issue for some reason with them dogging the first two guys in the race like that when you're multiple laps down.
Yeah, multiple laps down is not Zenkar. He's just got overtaken by Kirk Stanley as Brian Hansen is going to get past Michael Thiessen there. You can see him going wheel to wheel, side by side in the background.
Ooh.
For a square for a moment. Now going to go for a square again into the right-hander, then into the braking zone. Who's going to command these battles? Kirk Stanley gets past ahead, gets wheel to wheel just ahead of Zenkar. Christian Flagg, while we're away, takes the lead again here at Sebring Club. It always happens when you look away, man. It's just unfortunate that it always happens like that, as that is both of them making their way through. As what is happening is that Crotch Ray White, because he's just been overtaken by Gianni Lutsu.
Yeah.
Well, here we go. Gianni Lutsu now coming on Christian Flagg.
I mean, again, I don't know. As long as he doesn't cause an incident, I guess I'm okay with that. Oh, White ran off track apparently.
Oh.
Yeah, he apparently had a little off-track moment.
Well, damn.
I'm sure he'll bounce back from it.
Well done.
Yeah,
at the end of the day, it's stuff that happens.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, Zen Car just had a moment, too.
Oh.
Let's jump over to that real quick.
It is claiming a lot of cars tonight, is Sebring.
Yeah, I mean, it's rough out there. This track is so bumpy. I don't know that that's what's causing this, but it's old, slick, concrete track. It's a tough place to drive on, so yeah.
I think that, you know what? I think the bumpiness of the circuit is the second part of the equation. The initial contact will make the car unstable, and then the bumpiness is what causes the car to be lost.
Yes, I agree with that.
It's the second part of the equation.
Right.
So, on a normal circuit, you can have a little bit of a tap and you'll be fine. Whereas around here, you get a tap, it completely unsettles the car, and because of the way that these cars work, it just ends up making it so that happens at the end of the day, as Zach Crotchery White once again is in the lead of the Sebring Club. Is in the lead of the Sebring Club GP.
He is indeed. All right, off track again there, but I think he's going to be all right from that one. But that did bring Flagg right back up into the picture again. Yeah, I think, and like I said, the rear end starts sliding on these things because this track's old and kind of worn out and slick, an old airport and everything. And I wonder if the bumps, when your car's already, obviously sliding a little bit, or you got it right on the edge of sliding and you hit these bumps and it kind of, throws it for a little spin. I've never really driven super lightweight cars around here. The only time I've ever driven this club circuit was in a GT3 car, which was like the worst choice ever by whoever picked that track. But it was a heavy car, so it's a different animal. But these little light cars and these bumps are pretty violent around here. I take that back. I've actually driven a Radical here, and those are pretty light. There he goes.
There we go. Yeah, once again, nice and tidy. And it is now the final 5 minutes of this race. So if you want to make those positions up, better get a move and better get it done quick. Lap times around here at 1:17.392. So that is how it sits at the current moment in time, as 1:16.8 was the last lap time for Zach Crotchery White. Slightly quicker by 2 tenths than Christian Flagg as well. So we're 20 laps deep into this race at the moment. We're on lap 21 as it does currently stand. And now looking at where these drivers are going to come up to fare, I would say that they're putting on a pretty good show as Christian Flagg once again still trying to get past Zach Rattray-White. Also got Zenkar trying to get past Mark Schreening, but that's opened up a bit. So now is the two main battles within the top 10 is between Zach Rattray-White and Christian Flagg for P number 1, and then between Michael Thiessen and Brian Hansen for P number 7.
Yeah, and a little one back there for 10th and 11th too, between Visser and Hanley. Obviously, we got to stay right here with this being less than a 10th of a second. You know, like that.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, it comes down to the racing action and how it fares up towards the end. Of course, 27:30 now done in this race. So how many more laps have we got in the tank? I would say we're going to be going on to the penultimate after this one, unless my maths does not serve me correctly.
Well, I absolutely refuse to take my shoes off to count that high, so I'm not doing it.
That's why you got me. And it is now going to be Zach Rattray-White still leading onto this. Just got to hold onto the line at the current moment in time. Christian Flagg is there. Last lap time is 1 minute 17.2 for Christian Flagg, 1 minute 17.5 for Zach Rattray-White. Gaps have opened up between Michael Thiessen and Brian Hansen, so that may stay as it does currently. As the camera gets obscured by some good old lecky wires, it's now going to be Christian Flagg who's looking for the outside, but no moves done there for the time being either. We are going on to lap number 22 now, and it's definitely going to be the penultimate lap here as they head around this circuit with 1 minute 30 left on the clock. It's going to be tight, but here we go. Christian Flagg and Zach Rattray-White, wheel-to-wheel contact, almost making contact with the bodywork, millimetres apart, coming onto this penultimate. This is starting to spice up a little bit, Jim. And now my question for you, could we see some desperation start to kick in from Christian Flagg?
I'll tell you what, that was closer. I'm surprised they didn't touch right there. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I think Flagg's obviously going to kind of throw it at him one more time here if you can. We're gonna get one more, I think.
We will get one more. We've done the maths. We're halfway through this lap. With 50 seconds left on the clock. It is getting closer and closer each lap now. How is this going to fare between them? We've got 1/3 of the lap left here at Sebring Club before we go on to final. 25-degree track, however, Ty's going to fare up into the final few corners. It could end up being a final now. Very, very close to the gearbox. It's going to be Christian Flagg. This is getting closer with each second that ticks by. And we are now going to be going on to the final lap for this round. It is the TGR Grand V Series, and it is live here on Apex Racing TV. It's the final lap as Christian Flagg is going to try it. Goes down the inside forcefully. Going to end up going deep. Is it going to be a switch back? He's going to defend it like a madman, and he's going to hold on to it as the voice cracks. Zach Rattray-White is going to try and get back past it. This is going to be a battle between these two that we have never seen before. Gonna go for it. Hops in the toe. Goes to the side. No move on the inside this time round, though. We have got just over half a lap left here at Sebring Club. But now, up against them, a little bit of a lock up there for Christian Flagg. Is that going to give Rattray-White an opportunity? This is getting closer and closer. Going up to the inside line. Round goes Christian Flagg. And that is going to bring an end to the battle on the lead. It's going to be controversy. As the mic spikes, we saw what happened as he ended up going round. What on earth was it? Netcode? Was it accidental? Either way, it's gonna be this man, Zach Rattray-White. He's gonna go to the line, and he wins. And he will win here at Sebring Club in controversial style, some may say. Sean Gapinski back here. What did we just witness? Sean Gapinski making his way through the field. Martin Visser versus Enkarmov getting done there. What?
Oh my goodness. Let's see.
Earth, Jim.
Wow. Okay. So I guess this is it here. Let's see.
So this is what happened. Oh my god.
Oh, that was netcode.
Oh! Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go back and look at that one more time from Nathan's. From Zach's onboard.
Here's the thing, I'm looking at this. Obviously, I'm not going to say anything because I'll leave it to the stewards.
Yes.
But I think Zach was on the grass there.
Well, we'll see. Let's see.
I think Zach had some wheels on the grass.
All right, let's look at it from this side.
So this is the onboard. And it now heads like this. Going to be going up against them. Going to be holding through it.
I don't think he did.
Oh! Yeah, that does...
Let's see if it'll do this. All right, here we go. One more time. I want to see if the tires touch. I don't think they do. No, they didn't.
Oh, no, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe
you think they did?
Maybe the very edge.
Let me see.
Maybe the very edge of the front left.
Wrong one. Oh, crud. I was trying to do something fancy and didn't.
Well, either way, we'll leave it to the stewards, but that is going to be interesting nonetheless.
Wow.
That is that for Sebring Club. Jim, I'll let you take. I did the grid order, so you kind of have to do this one now. Take us through the final race classification.
You're a dirty dog for that, just so you know. All right. And, all right, here are your results. Possibly. All right, first place with is Zach Rattray White. Nathan Morani finishes second. Christian Flagg in third. Controversially, I would say. Rob Wright, followed by Sean Gapinski, is your top five. Kirk Stanley, Michael Thiessen, Brian Hansen round out your top eight, followed by Mark Schweening, Neil Hanley is your finishing out your top 10. And bringing up the rest of the field is Zen Carr, Sully Khan, Gianni Luzzi. That's a good one. See, that's why I don't do them. Blake Babson. Poor Boo Bear, 14 laps down. Got out there for a little while, then got into an incident. And your last place finisher, 20 laps down, was Ken Puyan.
Well, let's get straight into this because I believe we have the time. Just about. We could do this one very, very quickly. It looks like we'll only have this one. Christian Flagg, you are live on Apex Racing TV. Obviously, we know what we're gonna. I know what most people will want to talk about, but we'll go with this one first. Talk us through that race up until that final lap. What was it like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was really good. I was trying to play a strategic game. I think Nathan had more pace than it seemed, just because Zach was pulling me so much faster than he was. I knew that if Zach dropped me, I'd probably struggle to stay ahead of Nathan, so I just wanted to stay on Zach's tail. I wasn't even going to try to pass him. Gianni came out of the pits. He's Zach's teammate, and they wanted to have a little battle, so I battled around for a little while, and yeah, we didn't get quite as far ahead as I wanted. If we were a little bit further ahead, I might have been able to keep the position. I know that the Australian netcode is strong, so that's why I was kind of trying to make more of a gap to Nathan, but it is what it is.
Yeah, and of course, we saw what happened with the cars later on. Talk us through that final lap.
Yeah, I was coming into the corner and I said, I think I got to take it as soon as I can get it. As soon as I got ahead, I gave him a little checkup coming out of the first corner, forced him to stay behind me, blocked him, stayed on the outside, tried to just keep the dominant line. Coming out of that second to last corner, I was just thinking about what could I do in this final hairpin to stay ahead. I had a few different plans of what I might do, and yeah, just unfortunately I never got to the hairpin. It's not his fault, just it happens.
Yeah, we've been looking at it on the replays, and it does seem a bit like netcode. Unfortunately, it's very very hard to tell. If you watch it back, it's very very hard to tell until the one we've just seen. So unfortunate what happened at the end of the day there. Of course, going into the next round, what do we think the game's plan is going to be now?
I mean, Dirt Oval, it's going to be very interesting. You never know what's going to happen.
Big
I have
fun.
never driven on the Dirt Oval, so we'll see.
Well, fair enough. We shall let you go and digest what happened in the end there. So thank you for being here. Before we let you go, is there anybody you would like to thank?
Yeah, shout out Seb Coulson, the world champion.
Well, fair enough. We shall let you go. Have a good night, mate.
Thank you, guys.
That was Christian Flagg. And now, Zach Rattray White. You are live on Apex Racing TV. As we said to Christian, we know what everybody's going to be talking about. But talk us through that race, because you two are having an absolutely amazing battle until the unfortunate end.
Yeah, it was an interesting one. I found it quite boring from my POV for most of the race because Christian was kind of just sitting behind me, and half an hour is quite a long time in this car. When your top speed is about 130 k's an hour, which isn't a lot. So yeah, I kind of it was actually Johnny's idea to come out and make it a little bit interesting, which it did, and then obviously the last lap was even more interesting.
Yeah, speaking of interesting, you did mention it there. What happened to Lutzu? Because he didn't take to the starting grid, even though he had a very good qualifying position. So, are you able to provide information on what happened there?
Yeah, it might be hard to believe because a lot of people would think that he was running from a fight against me, scared like a little cat, but he wasn't. His left monitor did turn off halfway through qualifying, so yeah, he was trying to get it sorted out before the race, and obviously that didn't happen. He tried to leave and join back, and obviously didn't make the race.
Well, that is unfortunate at the end of the day. Well, we've seen it happen again. It's the question everybody's going to be wondering now. What, from your point of view, what happened on that final lap?
Well, yeah, it's just a bit of netcode, I think. Bit of a race and deal. Can't say too much more about that. I mean, wasn't either of our faults. It was just one of those unfortunate things. I felt like I was going to get him no matter what. Either whether it was going to be on that straight or the next one. I don't think he had much of a choice. But yeah, I just a little unfortunate.
Unfortunate it is at the end of the day. What some may consider even more unfortunate, but I know I'm looking forward to, Dirt Oval next week round. So what's the game plan going into that?
Oh, we'll have to wait and see. Dirt Oval's my bread and butter, so yeah, looking forward to it. If it comes down to the same thing, a bit of a biff and barge on the last lap, then I'm sure I'll come out on top in that as well.
Oh, fair enough. Before we let you go, is there anybody you'd like to give a thanks to?
Well, you guys for the amazing broadcast, as always. The admins and the people who put on the event, and Christian as well for putting up with us.
Well, thank you very much, and I'm sure the others will thank you as well. Have a good morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time it is there in the land down under.
Middle of the night.
Yeah, middle of the night. Are we correct in that statement?
Yeah, 2:30 in the morning. So I just finished F1 quali, so I thought we'd jump in straight after.
Don't spoil it.
Fair enough. No spoilers, no spoilers. Right, we shall let you go. Have a good sleep, Zach. So
yes,
we shall, from what we've seen this season, we will most likely see you next week. So congratulations on tonight. Have a good night.
Thanks, guys.
And that is it, Jim. Final observations.
I mean, this was fun. I mean, he called it boring, but, I guess from his perspective, he was out front there with not much of a challenge for most of the race. Christian, waited to the end to do all that. But from our perspective, man, we had battles all through the field. We couldn't even keep up with them all. And so, from my perspective, this is so much fun, 2 weeks in a row. And to be honest, I want to come back and do that Dirt Oval next week bad. I want to come back and watch that.
Well, Samula isn't back for a while, so you got a chance. But right now, of course, you said the Dirt Oval. That comes your way next week. It is the USA Speedway Dirt Oval on the 13th of September. Then, of course, we are very much approaching the end of the season, fast and quick. You got Dirt Oval at USA Speedway next week. It's in Alton Park, Ireland, and then Rudserkogen. I cannot pronounce that name to save my life. But that is going to be it.
Well, that's
for
fair.
tonight.
'Cause I can't drive that circuit, so there's that. I hate that place.
Well, that's going to be it for tonight, and that is going to be it for the TGR Nation. We'll be back, same place, same time next week. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Alexa Marshall with Jim Cunningham, and it has been the TGR Nation Grand V Sebring Club. We'll see you next week. Have a good afternoon, morning, evening, or good night.